Alongside Adam Lauridsen, I'm Ravi Kapur after NBA Finals game number 3, and it looks like we have a series. The Miami Heat win a surprising game 3, technically on their home court, 115 to 104. It was paced by Jimmy Butler, who had a triple-double, his first ever career playoff triple-double. An incredible team effort, and of course, the Lakers were a little bit flat compared to the first 2 games, and that certainly helped the Heat's cause tonight.
Two main things happening in this game. First, Jimmy Butler was just on another planet. He was dominant in a way we haven't seen from him yet in this series, particularly down the stretch, was willing to take the ball, make the big plays, make the smart decisions, was a huge difference maker for the Heat. But second, Anthony Davis, who had been a dominant player in the first 2 games, largely disappeared. He picked up some early fouls, really wasn't part of the offense for the Lakers in the first half of the game, and struggled throughout. His plus minus was awful, and is a big change from what we've seen. It's unclear if that can be replicated or if the Heat did anything to cause that. But if they can throw him off his game going forward, this is a totally different series.
Davis with only 15 points tonight. Let's face it, with an 11-point margin of victory. Certainly, if he had scored 30, this would have been a different game altogether. LeBron, his normal excellent game with 25, almost another triple-double. And, of course, they had some good contributors off the bench for the Lakers. I mean, Kuzma had 19 points. They actually had Morris also played really well. But you got to give Miami a lot of credit coming back. Again, Bam Adebayo, we thought maybe he had a shot to play here in Game 3. Didn't play. Kelly Olynyk, I mean, Myers Leonard. I don't know how these guys are hanging with the kind of front line that the Lakers can put out there, but they got the job done tonight.
This is the type of basketball the Heat had played throughout the bubble that really made them a dominant team. They're deep. They get gritty performances from their contributors, and they play smart, efficient basketball. They forced a lot of turnovers with their defense. I think LeBron ended up the game with 8 turnovers. And they really, when the game gets down to crunch time, are able to come up with baskets, whether it's Butler or Hero had a number of great shots late in the game. They get it done. And it's a different team than we saw in the first 2 games. They look like they finally got some confidence and their feet under them, which could change things going forward.
Well, the turnover situation was catastrophic for the Lakers. I mean, they had more turnovers tonight than certainly the previous 2 games, and they looked flat in the first half. That obviously gave the Heat a lot of chance to sustain the game, especially when they weren't playing very well offensively in the second quarter. They had a good start, got really flat. And, I mean, I think it was a mixture of their defense and timely shots, because it's not like the Lakers played completely bad, but they just didn't have the volume of shots they hit as in Game 1 and Game 2.
Yeah, I think Game 4 will really tell us whether this is going to be a series or not. This could have been an aberration with the Lakers letting up a little bit after 2 dominant games and everybody saying the Heat were basically done. Or it could be the Heat getting their bearings after the injuries, finally figuring out what they need to do to execute to be competitive and making this a fight going forward. Unclear given this performance. It was a great basketball game. Hopefully we're going to get more of them, but I think we'll learn more about what the future holds in Game 4.
I mean, it's hard to imagine they can repeat this performance, but if anyone can do it, I mean, it's the Miami Heat culture, right? And Pat Riley teams traditionally play hard all the way to the end. They got a lot of fighters. And, again, Bam Adebayo, a crucial player. Dragic, again, another tremendous year for him. But if they can get contributions from Hero, if Butler can play like this, which I think we said in the last time we spoke, I mean, if Butler can get 35 plus, they got a shot. And certainly he played like an all-star tonight.
Yeah, LeBron James left the court a little bit early, about 5 seconds left, which is one of the unspoken rules in the NBA. You don't really do that as a sign of respect for your opponent. And I'm curious how that plays coming into next game. The Heat may have even more fire under them, or it may be LeBron coming back for vengeance after a game that he felt they let slip away.
That is a sign of disrespect. No question about it. I mean, they talk about these things going back in NBA history, when you walk off the court, going back to that Pistons series. I remember against the Bulls in that whole Last Dance documentary. They had 15 minutes of the documentary about walking off the floor early.
Yeah, it was surprising to see, particularly given what I think is generally a fairly well-liked Heat team around the NBA. They're respected. Players understand what they're doing. There was a bit of a mano-a-mano clash between Butler and James going down the stretch, and Butler clearly got the best of that. And we may have been seeing some of LeBron's frustration boiling over there in the last few minutes.
And the Lakers just weren't hitting shots to the same degree from the outside as they did in Game 2 and Game 1. So that's these are huge keys. And if the role players can step up for the Heat, we could have a series. And I agree with you fully. Let's see if the Heat can do it once again. They've got to win again 4 games, and the Heat are down still 2-1. So we'll see what happens after Game 4. But I'm excited at least that we look like there's going to be a series, and that's all you can ask for if you're an NBA fan. For Adam Lauridsen, I'm Ravi Kapur. We will see you after Game 4.